You have now entered a new dimension through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show.
Okay, show does start now. I'm your host, Johnny Allen, and welcome to the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast show. I'm really liking that new intro I put up there. Thanks for all the compliments. I've had a few compliments about the intro. I appreciate that. I do definitely appreciate that. So anyway, how was Thanksgiving? It's hard to believe. It's 2 weeks away now from Christmas, basically. 2020 is almost over, like, thank goodness, right? Just hope 2021 is a little better, right? We already know that. Hey, thanks again for stopping by my little program. I do this every Thursday for 30 minutes. I just talk about everyday life situations. That's all I do. Talk about what's on my mind, what's on your mind. You tell me what's on your mind. That's all we do. Talk about everyday stuff. Before further ado, though, I tell you what. I had a pretty successful Thanksgiving considering everything. I'll share just a little clip of, my Thanksgiving thing. And I was going to actually videotape the turkey. And you know what? I failed to do that again. Last year I failed to do it. This year I failed to do it. But I guarantee you it was great. Turned out great. Anyway, without further ado, I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I'll share this little clip with you guys, and I'll be right back. Here it goes. All right, guys. This is Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Hope you guys are having a nice Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving Day. I'll be putting this on after Thanksgiving, actually. But I told you guys I would let you take a peek at my turkey that I'm smoking. Got the temperature is 82 inside the bird. It's been on since about 9:30. It's getting towards noon now. 252 temperature in the smoker. So it's been about an hour or so since I've checked on it. So let's take a look. See what we got going on here. Oh yeah, we're looking pretty good there, guys. There you go. There is the bird. Looking well. I'll close her back up and really keep doing its thing. All right. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Have a safe one, and we hope for a prosperous 2021. And we'll talk in the studio after the holiday. And the weather was probably about, 40, 45 degrees. Perfect for, doing the turkey outside. But I hope your Thanksgiving was good. Mine was good considering the social distancing thing and all that. We just had 4 people, and that was it. If you want to count the little youngster, we had 4.5. Anyway, without further ado, I'm drinking a little coffee today. We had our first snowfall this past week. It wasn't much, just a dusting, but winter is officially here, I believe. Without further ado, coffee, it reminds me of, there we go, the Diesel Coffee Company, right? www.shopdieselcoffee.com. And before I go any further, let's do this commercial. Here goes the commercial, right here. All right, guys, Johnny Allen here, the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Hey, if you like coffee, listen. Shop www.shopdieselcoffee.com. Yes, I cover up my beautiful face to promote this brand. Now listen, Diesel Coffee Company is a new upstart coffee company, right? A good friend of mine, Tim, up in Michigan, had started this company a while back. Seriously, if you want good coffee, I talk about it all the time, but he's got a variety of different blends, roasting techniques, anything. If you're a coffee connoisseur, order from Diesel Coffee Company, www.shopdieselcoffee.com, and tell them Johnny Allen sent you, and you'll get a discount. Thank you, and have a great one. Yeah, that's right. Get that dieselcoffee.com. That diesel coffee company. www.shopdieselcoffee.com. Always call that dieselcoffee.com. It just sounds good. Anyway, go get Tim's coffee. It really is good up there. I got the links on the bottom to all that. I got the links to all my special things I enjoy, okay, and that my friends and, things I think you guys would be interested in. So anyway, check out the links below. But yeah, go get that diesel coffee. Christmas is coming quickly. Tim's going to get busy. So put your order in right away so you'll get that coffee to the people you share and give Christmas gifts to. Perfect Christmas presents. Anyway, talking points today, guys. Like I said, I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving. I did. It was, considering I didn't get to see my folks. We talked on the phone. I talked to everybody. I called everybody. Wished them a happy Thanksgiving and whatnot. So tell me how your Thanksgiving was. Comment below if you'd like to share a little bit of that. If not, that's fine. We'll move on. I'm in one of those little kind of a crazier mood today because it's just been, COVID's ramping up and it's just, everything's just a mess. And I'm trying not to really think about it. I'm just trying to think about, always think about positive things in life, right? So I'm trying to separate the two, I'm trying to put all the bad stuff on the burner and kind of not, just trying to forget about it, right? But it has been a tough year, man. I mean, it really has been. I talk about it every week, but it's true. 2021's coming. We hope that it's got to be better, right? So without further ado, I want to get to the talking points today. Again, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're on the YouTube side, thanks again. If you haven't liked, subscribe, please do so. Because, we appreciate it, It's just, we definitely appreciate it here. The Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show is not a big operation, and I'm going to keep it that way. But we have a good time. And we keep it simple, right? So anyway, I want to get to the talking points. And I thought, a couple of wild things happened since Thanksgiving. Especially, let's back up a little bit. Some wild, weird things happened, and that's what I want to talk about. With some of the people that I highly recommend, and especially one in particular, and YouTube channels. These are YouTube channels that I like. I'm talking about YouTube channels. And particularly one YouTube channel that I subscribe to, something I just can't believe it has happened to this particular person. I'll talk about Sean James. Okay, I'm going to talk about it. Sean James has a cabin up in Canada. He has a channel called My SelfReliance. He also has a channel called Sean James. If you guys have been following me for a long time, I've been following him for the last 2.5 years. Great channel. Highly recommend it. I put the links on the bottom. I talk about Sean James all the time. He's just got a great channel if you love nature and everything. But the point I'm trying to make is this. When, I work in the healthcare industry, right? So I'm seeing COVID-19. I'm seeing all these bad things happening. When you're it just is what it is when you're in healthcare. You see a lot of things that are kind of disturbing, right? And it plays on your psyche for a while. So the point I'm trying to get at is you need a release. A lot of people need an outlet. When you're stressed and you're worried about different things that are going on in your life, you really need an outlet to get rid of that stuff. Put that stuff on the back, on the shelf for a while, right? You need an outlet. And, of course, Sean James' YouTube channel is one of my outlets. I love watching him work on his projects, his homestead. I love his philosophies. And, I just enjoy watching Sean. And he's an inspiration to me. Okay, so hang with me. Where I'm going here with this. So you look up to certain people and certain things and you do certain things or whatever that take your mind off of the stressors of life, right? And like I said, this channel's one of them. Look, he puts a video out every Friday. Look forward to seeing the videos, all that kind of stuff. So certain things that you do that make you feel better, and just kind of, like I said, take your mind off of the things. And sometimes you kind of, and I don't mean to do this, but sometimes you kind of look up to these people like, boy, I wish I could do that, or I wish I could do this. Like he lives out in the woods, basically, and I'm thinking, man, the peace and solitude and everything, and not have to worry about, hitting the time clock. I've talked about this before. So basically he's just self-reliant, living on his own, peaceful. I mean, he does have his wife and kids there with him a lot of the time, his daughters and his wife. He's got his dog Callie, so he's basically like kind of in my mind, it's kind of like he's living the dream, and a lifestyle that I kind of would like to live. I know I can't live that though, really. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is by watching his videos, you can kind of go there, right? If you can't be there physically and you can't do these things yourself, people like Sean's got these channels out there that you can enjoy. And he's even made a comment on one of his videos one time because I just like putting these out there for myself, and hopefully I can bring happiness to somebody, or or let them forget about their problems for a while by enjoying my channel. Point I'm trying to make is this: even the people that we look up to and that we I won't say idolize, because I don't idolize anything, but people we look up to and we admire and it's inspiration, even they have problems, right? Here's what I'm going to say. Even they have problems. Even if you think, wow, they're living that dream life, they have problems. And he came up with a problem just this week. And he came up with a problem that he was having difficulties with a neighbor. Now, he lives way out in the middle of nowhere, and you would think, okay, the nearest neighbor is like, how far? A long ways away, right? And like he said, he wouldn't dream that he was going to have problems with a neighbor, for one, and then he has a problem with a road being ran and being expanded, entryway road to his private property. You guys could check out his channel if you want, get the full story. But anyway, his little world, in a nutshell, has been closed in and interfered with. So his little peaceful life in his homestead that he was building for himself, and the channel that he puts out that 1.5 million people enjoy, and that's no exaggeration, he has over 1.5 million subscribers, is being totally violated. And I mean in a way where he's having trouble with the neighbor, causing a bunch of problems. And so his world has just basically been put on hold. He's having to readjust all that work that he did. He has to redo it somewhere else. And we hope that Sean does good with that. And I pray and hope that he can continue living out his dream without having any problems. But the point I'm trying to make is this: is people will always try, and I'm going to say this real vaguely, right? People will always try, and I've said this before so many times, I'm using Sean as an example. People will always try to F something up that is a good thing. Invariably. Comment below. Why, when something is going good in your life and going good for other people, something that's just going good in general, why do you got those certain ones that want to F it up? That's it. Plain and simple. F it up. It's astonishing to me that people want to do that. You take somebody like him, for example, and there's a lot of Sean Jameses in the world, right? They're just kind of minding their own business, doing their own thing, not causing problems to anybody. And then all of a sudden, these people, I don't know if it's jealousy, whatever it is, he inadvertently got these people to do that. And I use Sean James as an example because that even happened to him. Because just even like 2 weeks ago, I was enjoying his music and all that. It helps me relieve my stress of going to work. If I got something bad going on, I think of what, the music that he plays is soothing. I think of the outdoors. I'll think of his channel and I'll think of the outdoors. He inspires me to get up and get going and doing things in the adverse weather and getting outside, just getting outside and enjoying nature. He's very inspirational with me in doing that. And love the projects and stuff like that. And like I said, it's almost like your favorite football team. I'll use a sports analogy, like I'll use a little box kickers talking sports analogy here. So your favorite sports team, man, that you always look up to and excited about, they're all of a sudden they're starting to lose. They're losing bad, right? It's that feeling. It's that feeling of letdown. It's that feeling of letdown for a reason that you shouldn't be let down for. I mean, you can understand like a pandemic or something like that, disease that, I won't go there on how it was caused, but, something that's natural that, or, seems to be natural that comes up. But you're just talking about somebody harassing somebody just for the sheer fact that they don't like him for whatever reason is wrong. That's so wrong. I mean, it is so wrong, really. Comment below on anything I have to say. And Sean, I just want to, if you're listening to my podcast, this episode, I just want to say one thing to you personally. is that, like I said, I've been a fan of yours for 2.5 years. I actually discovered your channel I'm a camper and an outdoorsman, and I was actually YouTubing a search on how to waterproof your campsite because I knew we were going to go when there was a lot of rain forecasted. That's how I stumbled across his channel came up, and that's how I discovered Sean and my SelfReliance. And I've been hooked ever since. Just love what he's doing up there. But anyway, if you're listening, we're all praying for you. We're all on your side, and we hope and pray and for the best for you and your family, and that you can continue your dream and continue those wonderful videos that you show us without hopefully no one ruining that, because we really do enjoy everything that you share with us. And you know what, in the same token too, and that's bad messages for Sean, but this was a message for everybody. Whenever you become a little popular and you start getting some recognition, you're always a target. And it's sad that you're a target. You're a target, and it's terrible. I don't understand that. It's the whole concept of my show today, guys. Why do people attack somebody when they're successful and they're doing good? Is it jealousy? I think it's jealousy, a lot of it. Comment below, whatever you think. And like I said, why do people always have to F up a good thing? Always. Keeping it clean. You guys know all about that. And that goes for everything. That goes for like in the government and everything. Like, say there's a tax program that's great for us. A politician will come in and mess that up. Or they set something up and it's like, well, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why do they have to mess up a good thing? Why do you have to build a building on every piece of land that's farmland or woods or something? You got to build something. I always think about that song. I think it's Counting Crows. Correct me if I'm wrong. Called Paradise, Build a Parking Lot. You guys have heard that song. If it ain't paradise, go and build a parking lot. And that's just so true with everything. Like where Sean is, there's one lane access to a guy that lives way out. He's got 100 acres. It's a lane just to his property. He was on a dead end. And all of a sudden they decided to expand that. And, just entrench and infiltrate into his space and his privacy and his land. And this guy has worked 3 years hard on this homestead. It's just amazing to me. But again, I hope if you're listening, Sean, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and hope you do well. What he's sharing is fantastic up there, and I hope it will continue, and I hope he does well. But yeah, people got to screw something up if it's good, no matter what it is. I mean, it always seems like that. That's happened in my life a lot. Something's going really good, and something's always got to screw that up. Like I said, comment below on any of that stuff. And adding to kind of the Sean James thing and living out, inadvertently, channels like that, and there's other channels that are like this too that are pretty good. But, with this pandemic and everything that's going on and the political unrest, I talked about this before, people are moving out. People are getting out of the cities and saying, screw this. Did I do that? I actually did that. I'm just hand gesturing. They say, screw this, and they move out into the country. They want to get out away from everything. So by me saying that, and Sean even said that, there could be more people coming up where I'm at. I figured I was far enough away out, but I'm not. But with me saying that, here's a talking point. I want you guys to think about this for a little bit. Can you truly escape from people and crowds and society? Like a big city like Toronto or New York City or Chicago or even where I'm at here in Indianapolis. Can you truly escape these cities? Is there any place left on the planet where you can truly escape them? And people say, yeah, you can go to the Amazon, rainforest, right, John? Or you can move up to Antarctica or down to Antarctica or up to the North Pole or remote places in Alaska that's severely cold, like the North Pole and Antarctica. But there's still people there. But, yeah, you can move to these extreme places, but who's going to do that, right? Not very many. But do you really feel like can you truly escape from people? I just don't think you can. The wife and I talked about maybe moving out a little further and stuff like that, and then I just don't know anymore. I don't know if it's even worth it. I just don't know. Comment below on any of this stuff I'm talking about today, guys. We're just talking about everyday life things. So they kind of review, YouTube channels I really like. One particular, my SelfReliance, right? Sean James. People that you kind of look up to. It's kind of like your mentor, kind of your hero kind of thing, and your escape from everyday life. Even they have problems. It's like, it's like Superman with kryptonite. Even the best have run into difficulty, right? That kind of thing. Can you truly escape from, people and their shenanigans? And why do people do that? Why do people, when you got something good going, why do you do that? Why do you harass and good people? Comment below. Don't understand it. People say, well, it's evil, and it is. It's just, it's evil. And can you truly live in peace? That's my other talking point. Can we truly live in peace? Because Sean talked about, hey, I just want to get out and get away, and I like to enjoy my peace. I understand that thoroughly, because I'll give you guys an example of it. I live in a suburbia. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood for the most part, but I'm in a neighborhood, and there's a pond behind me. Not a big pond, one of those retention ponds like they have in a lot of neighborhoods. I'm out in my backyard. I got a fire pit. I'm enjoying a nice night by myself with the fire going. The missus is in watching TV. I'm out by the fire, really enjoying it, peaceful. All of a sudden, my neighbor across the pond, one of them, comes out. They get together with a bunch of people. They start, talking real loud, blah, blah, blah. And then I hear her say, yeah, I always got to effing work on the weekend, real loud. I always get tired of effing working this and effing working that. Okay, whatever. I don't care if you cuss or whatever. But my point is this. I really didn't want to hear that when I'm out having a nice quiet night by my fire. So I couldn't escape it. So can you truly escape things like that? I mean, and you look at somebody like Sean James who lives way up in Canada in the middle of the forest, and he's got people effing with him. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. Comment below on this, guys, on any of this stuff. Okay, I'm going to kind of switch gears here a little bit. We just got rude people everywhere. Rude people everywhere. I'd love to be able to just wave a wand and get and cease the action of rudeness and all this stuff and taking away somebody's joy. That's really what it is. I've talked about this before. You're taking away people's joy because you got some kind of burr up your butt. Right? I don't know. I'm venting a lot about that, but it's true. It hits home with so many people, and it's like it even hit home with Sean. And I don't know if we can escape people like that totally. Just don't think it's going to happen. So anyway, changing gears a little bit, switching gears. I got this little cable right here. You guys are probably thinking, okay, what's the big deal? It's a 1/4-inch cable, whatever it is. It's not even 1/4-inch. It's one that plugs into a cell phone. So what this means is this cable right here connects me to guests now. So I plug the phone in that, and guests call in, and guess what? We got guests on this little show. So that's great. So guests will be coming now, and just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to end on a few things here. Okay, last thing I want to talk about, my last talking point tonight. And then I'll review everything, and then you guys can just comment. Thanks again for stopping by and let me chat for 30 minutes and vent or whatever it is I'm doing. I enjoy spending it with you guys. So anyway, my last talking point. Holiday, staying focused during the holidays. This has to do with behavior. A lot of this, what I'm talking about, is human behavior. Almost everything I talk about, I talk about everyday life, common situations that we land on, right, or we see or observe or whatever. But really, what I talk about is like people's personalities and social graces and social thinking and thinking in general, how people think and how they act. Like rudeness of people ruining something like what Sean has going on. So that's why I talk about all these personality. I call them personality disorders. Because rudeness is a personality disorder. Not being respectful is a personality disorder. There's a lot of mental disorders when it comes to behavior processes of the human brain. There, did you like that one? All right. Some people might say I have. Yeah, I might have a little bit of it. But yeah, I'm never rude. Really. I can be kind of hyper and emotional about things and that I talk about, and just really I state my opinions on things, obviously, but I'm not rude. And if you got a good thing going, I'm cheering you on. if I got a good thing going on, you should cheer me on. If you don't like what I'm doing, you shouldn't try to sabotage it either, right? That goes for anybody, sabotaging. So anyway, the last talking point. With the holiday, Thanksgiving's come and gone, right? So we have Christmas coming up, like I said, and we got New Year's. And with COVID-19, not too many people are getting together. But if you do get together with a few people, how should we behave? Okay, during the holidays, staying focused on the people that you're visiting. Okay, here's what I got to say about it. After that coffee. Okay, say you have a get-together with family and friends and stuff like that. Okay, you should stay focused on them. You know what I mean? And it's not a knock to anybody. A lot of people do it. I see it all the time at work. I've talked about it. We got this thing called the cell phone. Now, I don't have mine on me right now, but we're always doing this. We're always doing this. We're locked in on the cell phone thing or a laptop computer or something. Do me a favor. Think about this, guys. When you're visiting loved ones, you're visiting friends, people you don't see all the time, put the thing down for a little bit. Just put it down. Put the phone down. How about just turn it off and put it away? We can all be guilty of it. I am too. You're out there. I'm going to sit down to fire with my two stepsons. We're all on our phones. And, hey, check this out. We're kind of sharing it, right? And if you're sharing it, that's one thing. But if you're just totally ignoring somebody and on the phone, just don't do that. Let's try to get back to the way things were. Now, I don't think they ever will be, but at least give it a break. Let's give this stuff a break, right? Let's give the phone a break. Let's give it all a break. So when you're visiting with family and friends, do yourself all a favor. Put your phone away for at least an hour. Can you do that? Put the phone away for an hour? And, I tell you what, I get it at work every day, too. People walking around with their phones constantly, young kids, glued to the phones. Phones are a major addiction. It's worse than a drug. You stop thinking about it. And I'm not knocking cell phones. I think they're great. There's places and times to use them. But you stop and think about people texting and stuff like that on the highway. There's more accidents caused by people texting and not paying attention than there is people drunk. And I think that's a true statistic. I'll look that up later. But seriously, there is more people causing wrecks and stuff doing this on this phone. See, this is a phone now. A phone. On the phone. You guys get what I'm talking about. So put the phones down a little bit. My suggestion, put the phones down a little bit this Christmas and New Year's. Put it down for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with sitting across from somebody with a cup of whatever your favorite beverage is and saying toast and good talking to you. And what you been up to lately? How's the job? How's the kids if you have kids? How's your life? How's your life been treating you? How have you been doing during the pandemic? All these things, right? There's so much really to talk about. And sometimes it's okay, even if you're not talking that much. But keep the eye contact. Act like you're interested in the people that you're visiting. I'm not saying that in a bad way for people that do that. But it's just a good habit to start. Put the phone down for a while. I've been doing it. I'm guilty of having the phone. I think sometimes when you don't want to be bothered and you're not into the conversation, it's a good way to kind of hide. Think about that one. I'm going to hide behind my cell phone. Anyway, that's all I got today, guys. Thanks for stopping by the channel. And like I said, the whole preview today is hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you're doing good during this crazy 2020 year. It's almost over with the COVID. It gets ramping up a little bit, guys. Just the way it is. Why do bad things happen to good people? I don't know. Why, when you have something good, somebody's got to constantly F it up, right? Like with Sean James, for example. God loves Sean James, and I'm with you. I hope you're doing good, and I hope you continue to do good. It's a shame that somebody has to mess something up like that. And there's so many instances besides his that people want to mess up. So why do we do that? Why are the people that are doing the messing up rethink about this stuff? Because there's a price to pay at the end when you die. I don't care what anybody says. There is. So think about what you're doing here while you're here. And is there truly an escape from society if you're tired of what's going on in the society, the crazy, wacky human brain, how it goes, the thought processes of some people? It's astounding to me, right? I say that every time. How do you get away from that for a while? Is there ever going to be an escape if you want to be like a Sean James or somebody like that and get away? Can you truly get away? I don't, questions. Don't know. Can you truly have peace in this planet? Don't know. Questions. Phone guest coming up. Can't wait. Star of the year, phone guest. Gonna be fun. That way you guys can, besides hearing me blab, you can hear somebody else blab. Might be a little more interesting, right? All right. Like I said, let's put the cell phones down during the holidays. We got Christmas coming up and we got New Year's coming up. Spend some quality time with your friends, people you care about, your loved ones, right? Because we know at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to close with, guys. At the end of the day, with this pandemic and how wacky stuff's gone and how many people have died from this thing, any time you can spend with them is precious. You don't want to waste it by doing that. That's all I got today. Thanks again, guys. Like I say every week, good Lord willing, I'll see you next week, and we'll talk about something else on the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Have a good weekend. See you.